So are you actually living in Moscow?
Currently, at the moment, I'm in Moscow. I am mainly
Oh,
living in the north of Russia, not in Moscow, 600 kilometers to the north.
uh-huh,
And I'm working mainly for Central Asia. So therefore,
uh-huh.
today my work started 6 o'clock in the morning because in Bishkek, Kyrgyzstan, it was already 9 o'clock.
Mhm. Okay. And it's a great honor for me to have you on our channel. And actually, you are the closest person to a Nobel Prize I've ever met. So it's a great honor.
Actually, I have about 1/3000 of very small portion because this is collective prize, and we
As
were
a
about 3,000 people. Each of us has very nice piece of paper with honor.
so anyhow, you got that.
Yes, yes, officially I have.
So, first of all, you were involved with the IPCC and UNFCCC from the very beginning of those two
Yes,
organizations.
yes.
So, what are you doing now? You are now a member of Carbon Lab. What is that?
Is a team of experts
Mm-hmm.
which produce each month quite large
Mm-hmm.
bulletin in
Mm-hmm.
Russian language. In my opinion, the best, how to say, source of information is a digest. It's digest. Yeah, and boss or director of Carbon Lab, Mikhail Yulkin, he collected maybe the best 7, 8 experts, and I'm proud to be among them. I produce
Mm-hmm.
each month 3 pages,
Mm-hmm.
only 3 pages, about global climate policy. Global climate policy.
Global.
In October's issue, I
Mm-hmm.
my I have very difficult task to prepare in 3 pages summarizing of all expectations, plans, and problems of next COP.
COP29, you mean?
Yes, 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 in 3 pages. But many people are not able to read more than 3 pages, especially government officials or some business leaders. So
Okay, then let's move on to climate change in Central Asia and also Caspian Sea, which is our main topic. When I was preparing for this interview, I realized that there were just a few things that came to my mind on climate damage in Central Asia. And I think it's not just me, but globally, there is not much attention to EECCA with regard to climate damage compared to Africa or small Pacific islands. So why do you think that is? Is it because it is actually not serious compared to other regions, or are there any other reasons?
I see two reasons why
Uh-huh.
Central Asia is more quiet than other areas. The
Mm-hmm.
first is just physical reasons, because in Central Asia we don't have so terrible prognosis or so terrible
Mm-hmm.
current impacts like in maybe Southern Africa or Sahel
Mm-hmm.
zone,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe Pacific Islands, which would be
Mm-hmm.
flooded. So
Mm-hmm.
physically impact of climate change or climate change is not so terrible as in some other areas. They will face, and they are facing now, how to manage
Mm-hmm.
it in shrinking of glaciers to the up, yeah, to the top,
Mm-hmm.
how to manage it in growing population, how to manage
Mm-hmm.
it in growing economy. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a bit softer and easier task. So they
Mm-hmm.
don't speak about massive climate migration.
Mm-hmm.
We have now from Central Asia to Russia to many other countries migration, but it's economic migration. The same as from Africa, but climatic migration probably will be smaller than from Africa and or Pacific. Second thing
Mm-hmm.
is psychological. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
because in many years of the Soviet Union and
Mm-hmm.
domination of Communist Party, it was the
Mm-hmm.
rule to speak, all is okay, all is good.
Oh, really? Uh-huh.
Therefore, typically they speak in climate convention meetings that just talking about how good is country, how brilliant they manage with climate change. It's not the case,
Wow.
because there are two sides of coin. They prefer and automatically, due to mentality, speak about best things without any ask, like African people usually do, ask on help or demands. This is the psychology. No one minister of this country will speak only about that they need. No. They do, they say this, very good, But if you help us a bit, I would be glad. So in absolutely,
Okay.
they understand it, that they are now behind Africa in demands. They will try to improve situation. They are more and more active. I see Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan as leaders in this. Kyrgyzstan twice proposed special point in agenda of COP. In COP 29, you see in preliminary agenda, point number 17, which Kyrgyzstan alone proposed. They understood that they have to be more active, more, how to say, attacking than defending themselves. It's good trend.
Okay. So, well, I want to check the first reason that you mentioned, because I'm not sure if I understood correctly. So you said that there is a not terrible, like, evident physical damage in Central Asia. So there could be some water problems, but it's not like absolute water shortage, but it's more of mismanagement or that kind of stuff, right?
They lost Aral Sea, lake named it Aral Sea, but it's due to poor management. It's not due to climate change. They seek very visible example of losses due to very poor management. Now they struggle for surviving of Balkhash Lake. Balkhash Lake is another very large lake, but problem is another. It's not problem of absence of water. It's problem of management of water. How hydro stations are working in summer or in winter. How they clean runoff of Ili River, and some other things. So it's feasible to survive everything. Yes, by management.
Well, then I've heard that dams, many dams are constantly being built on rivers flowing into Caspian Sea. So, which is causing water shortages downstream, if that's true. So, when you say that mismanagement, are you saying that this kind of problem as well?
Actually, Caspian Sea has a main source of water from the north. Volga River is number one, Ural River is number two. Two rivers from Russia and Kazakhstan. Speaking about Azerbaijan, already all water of Kura River, Kura, K-U-R-A, all the waters do not reach Caspian Sea already in many years. All is used for agriculture. Therefore, any water management in Azerbaijan or Turkmenistan cannot help Caspian Sea. It's very small runoff, or close to zero, almost nothing. The main question is Volga River, of course. Second question is Ural River. It depends on water management and hydro dams on these rivers. Actually, there is no water shortage in Volga River basin, and according to prognosis, precipitations will be larger, will be slowly growing in the both Ural and
slowly growing, really.
However, there is opposite factor, evaporation from Caspian Sea surface. And nobody knows which trend is larger. Yes, now everybody see larger evaporation. It's only prognosis. So it's very difficult to say how climate change will influence of amount of water in Caspian Sea. Yes, I met several articles which declare that probably evaporation will be larger. But in the same articles, you can read that it's not final conclusion because our prognosis is approximate. Yeah, evidently that precipitation directly on Caspian Sea will be small. It's not the main factor. The main factor is runoff, first of all, Volga River.
So you mean that there is a kind of dispute over that assertion, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then I want to talk about climate change adaptation. I think nowadays you've been dedicated yourself to addressing that kind of subject. What are the main challenges and opportunities there?
Mainly strategy adaptation measures are around water. So around water deficit in southern Kazakhstan and all other four states. Yeah, all about that. How to use it more effectively, how to store it in spring or in summer, how to store it. It's around that. Another main, trend is attention to adaptation of small communities. It's, I would like to say that it's not adaptation, maybe energy system or adaptation of some sectors of economy. Yeah? It's mainly adaptation of agriculture and adaptation of communities, including pasturing. In particular, in some cases, they even replace animals, maybe small amount of calves, but large amount of yak. Yak is traditional for mountains. In Kyrgyzstan, in Tibet, yeah, but it was almost eliminated in the past and replaced by calves. Calves are too sensitive to many factors, yeah, including water, including temperature. So now return to traditional pasturing looks like a good measure for adaptation. Evidently that in many cases adaptation of water is the same as adaptation of health protection. I know that in many cities of Central Asia, water is free. It's good
water
for
is
people.
Free.
Yes, but they pay some small amount of money without water meters.
Why is that free?
I don't know, because if something is free, or if you pay fixed price, or maybe $10 per month for any amount of water, you will not economy water. Yeah.
Well, is it because, some politicians are afraid of...
It's political games that we provide water free, but in the result, it's more water for rich people, but shortage of water for poor people, so nothing good. They speak, price for, if meters, they will pay a lot. Not at all, not at all. Psychologically, it should be payment, maybe small payment. But it should be. The same example in many countries I face it, plastic bags. If plastic bag is free, everybody grab it a lot. Yeah? Small, a few cents, but it's tall. No, I don't need it. I have my own bag. And they have smaller use of plastic bags. Yeah. So this is serious problem. The mixture of political ambitions of one another politicians, or some traditions, or some maybe just inertia, but certainly that water meters should be everywhere. And water meters should be mainly personal. So each flat, each house, not some village as a whole. Some village as a whole, 1 meter for one village, it means initiation of conflict inside village, isn't it?
So is there any kind of movement from civil society organizations to make people pay for water?
Yes and no. On one hand, yes. On the other hand, they have very serious problems of air pollution, health protection, many other things, which they pay the main attention. In particular in Kyrgyzstan, in southern Kazakhstan, they pay main attention to air quality. Air quality in cities is terrible.
Mhm.
I remember Beijing about 30 years ago. Air quality was terrible. The same air quality now in Bishkek, capital of Kyrgyzstan, in winter. They speak
Okay.
a lot about, and they try to monitor big plans and
Mhm.
big measures of government and business
Mhm.
companies, of course,
Mhm.
but they do not touch population yet.
Okay, then this could be quite a light question, but also it could be important depending on your answers. Is the Caspian Sea a sea or a lake? And does it make any scientific sense to distinguish between the two?
Yes, it's certainly lake. From geographical point of view, it's certainly lake. Largest lake
Mhm.
of the world.
Why
It's
do
lake
people call it sea?
because it's large.
Just is that only the
Because it's
reason?
large,
Oh my
and this
God.
is Salt. This is Salt Lake.
I thought that there could be some geological reason for that because, like, about like thousands of years ago, it was a sea, but because of the plate tectonic, it became a lake, that sort of thing.
Yes, but millions years. You are
Millions.
right, but
Okay,
it's
so
scale of millions
okay,
years. Yes, so it's not
okay,
about
okay, I
that.
see. Um, As you may know, at the recent COPs, there was an agreement on a loss and damage fund. So do you think Central Asia could be a beneficiary?
I think that mountain areas, first of all, mountain areas of Central Asia will be beneficiaries because
Mm-hmm,
they have really losses of glaciers. What is
mm-hmm,
losses? Nobody can
mm-hmm.
adapt glacier to climate change. Shrinking of
Okay.
glaciers is unavoidable.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Therefore, it's clear example of slow process of loss and damage. Yeah.
mm-hmm,
So they cannot survive glacier, not
mm-hmm,
at all. Evidently, that a glacier will shrink up to some elevation, and nobody
mm-hmm,
disputes that above maybe 4,000-5,000 meters, glaciers
mm-hmm,
will be survived. But on this height, uh, it's not glaciers for agriculture. It's not glacier
mm-hmm,
for human life. It's
mm-hmm,
glaciers for as a just a nature of alpinism, tourists, nobody else. Yeah, and it's not source of water. But all glaciers, versus 2.5 thousand meters, 3,000 meters, 3.5 thousand meters, will disappear.
mm-hmm,
Unavoidable losses. Therefore,
mm-hmm.
they should be beneficiaries of new fund.
So is there any other sources of fresh water except glaciers in
No,
mountain region? No.
no.
Wow.
Because precipitation are mainly in winter, and now
Mm-hmm,
glaciers accumulate water and then
mm-hmm,
gradually, slowly feed rivers. If we have
mm-hmm,
no glaciers, it's very fast melting, maybe in 1 week, flood, and then nothing.
mm-hmm. Wow. Then there should be some kind of big reservoir.
Reservoir,
In,
yes, probably
Mhm,
reservoir, or just how to say, dramatic change in style of agriculture. They have not enough money for how to say, dropping agriculture like in Israel or some other countries, but they're on the way to that. I've seen very many very smart things that they use very cheap tubes, plastic tubes, and some handmade things to use minimum water for growing vegetables, first of all.
okay, this is my really last question. So,
Yeah.
what do you expect from COP29? Do you think it will go well?
I hope, of course. However,
Uh-huh.
this is specific COP. In particular, last COP has three tasks: loss and
Mm-hmm,
damage fund,
mm-hmm,
global goal on adaptation, and global
mm-hmm,
stock take. All
mm-hmm,
three were more or less successful, positive.
mm-hmm,
Now there is
mm-hmm,
one outstanding task, financial goal of the Paris
mm-hmm,
Agreement.
mm-hmm.
Moreover, it's so geopolitically important that only global leaders can find consensus. I hope that in Brazil, G20 will discuss it simultaneously with COP and provide consensus, deliver consensus from Brazil to Baku. But nobody thinks that this is guaranteed. It could be failure. And is it failure or not? Again, because financial goal is for many years, even more several decades, maybe many decades. Therefore, if the postponed decision on 1 year, it's not failure. It's maybe how to say a victory of the mind, of smart thinking. So it depends on situation. Yeah. Therefore, it's not so easy to estimate. Anyway, they have so-called reserve, how to say, capacity for success. This is Article 6, 6.2 and 6.4. And I guess that at least these points will be positively decided and practical activity will be started 2025-26. So this is so-called interesting, how to say, combination, number 1, number 2, and others. Hope all will be positive.
You are quite optimistic.
Yeah, being in climate, you is unavoidably optimistic.
Okay, good. Well, again, thank you very much and bye.